Welcome to what is currently my bedroom and the smallest room in our house, which is currently being used as our wardrobe / storage room for everything else that we don't have a place for. And what I want to do is turn this into our bedroom and move all of this behind the curtains into what is currently our bedroom and turn that into our wardrobe, guest room, and also office space for my boyfriend. The idea behind this was a bit random actually. I saw Sydney Graham stay at this Airbnb and she shared the bedroom that she was staying in, and there was something so cozy about the bed just kind of like being in this really small space. And I was looking at some other sort of inspirations of very small, narrow bedrooms where you literally only have a bed in that room. And this room especially has been a very difficult room for me to work with because it is just storage, and we have a lot of clothes, but not enough to warrant giving up an entire room for that. Plus also our bedroom really only keeps our bed and a large chest of drawers in it, which can fit in here perfectly fine. And then we have another larger room that we can use in lots of different ways. Literally this time last year, I set up these sort of hanging spaces with these curtains, and it is a bit of a nightmare to move around because you're constantly having to move these a certain way. And when it doesn't look or fit right, you have to take all the clothes off again and put them back on again to see how it fits. But it's okay, it will be worth it. First thing we need to do is make some room in our current bedroom to put all of this up against the wall. And for that, we need to move the bed out the way. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. It's gonna be very much a step-by-step figuring it out along the way kind of situation. Ryan also had a little bit of a clear out, so all of these boxes here, they can go in the loft. We got this chest of drawers literally yesterday, and it was supposed to go there instead of this wooden one for all of Ryan's things to go in. However, it is just too small. It looks quite big, but it doesn't actually fit a lot in the drawers, and we are already picking up a different chest of drawers for me, the IKEA Malm one, the tall one, because that one's a bit deeper. It goes as wide as here. That is annoying because now I'm stuck with this. I've put it on Facebook Marketplace, but whether it's going to sell, I don't know. And I'm also going to sell the tall boy that is in the other room, what I had here originally, but it just doesn't store my things efficiently enough, and I know I could fit a lot more in this space with like the Malm drawers. But what my mission now is to get everything, well, as much as I can out of that room, so I can hoover and clean and put the mattress in there, because we're going to test run the room for a couple nights sleeping in there, because we might hate sleeping in there and then this whole mission is going to be aborted anyways. This is what the bed looks like right now. It just has all the stuff on there that's supposed to go in the chest of drawers, because there's no point filling this, because tonight I'm getting the one that I actually want there, and then I can put all of this in the chest of drawers. Before I move the mattress in this room, I have a couple paint samples that I want to try out on the walls. I have Setting Plaster and Temptation Pink, by Farrow & Ball. And then I also just want to try out this blue from Benjamin Moore that I used on my kitchen cabinets. As you can see, I still have a whole tub of it, and I'm really stuck between whether I want this to be blue or pink. Both have a very different vibe. I really like the references that I saw that have a blue room. I think that looks gorgeous. I'm just not certain how cozy that will be, and I just feel like the pink actually will be a lot cozier. But I'm gonna just pop a few samples on all of the walls and see how it works in here. Okay, the room has our approval. We slept in here quite a few nights now, and it's really peaceful and quiet, which is nice. We weren't quite sure whether our neighbours use this room like next to ours in the evenings, but it doesn't seem like they do, because in one of the rooms where we used to sleep in, we could always hear the TV from our neighbours, and we wanted to avoid that. But that isn't the case in here. So all the furniture's gone back out again, the tarp is down, and my plan of action is to remove the curtain track, remove the screws there from the mirror, sand things down where they need sanding down, and then prime everything. And then the primer needs to soak in for a couple days, 2 to 3 days, and then I can paint everything. But today, no painting apart from the primer. You can see there things like this corner, they will need sanding down from where Ryan has done some plastering. And I'll also lightly sand down the colour swatches. It is like 4 o'clock, so I have 2 hours to use the power tools until I need to be quiet. So I'm just going to get on with it. Can you guess which colour I went for in the end? No matter which colour I choose, I usually always then get the Johnston's Cover Plus Vinyl Matte to colour match it, and it's been pretty good so far. But yeah, I'll let you guess in the comments which colour you think I went for. I already pulled out the recess LED lights. I couldn't disconnect them. I don't know how you do it, so I have to wait for Ryan to come home and do that for me. But I've been on a mission to remove them from all the rooms because they are in all of our rooms, and I hate them. I don't like how they look. I don't quite know yet what I'm going to do for the lighting in here yet, but I'm going to cover up most of these with like rounded plastic shields. You can buy them on Amazon and you can just fill in the holes from the lights, but I just wanted to pull them down so I can at least paint as close as possible around the edges. And then the only thing that gets me through painting is listening to an audiobook, so I can dissociate whilst I'm painting. It's like 9 a.m. It's going to be a gorgeous sunny day today, so I want to get this done as quickly as possible so I can go outside and tan in the sunshine. I was so annoyed because I really wanted to finish this room the day that I did the walls. And I thought we still had loads of the paints that I want to use for the skirting and for the door. But it turns out it was a different kind of paint. And so I had to wait for this paint to arrive, which is annoying because I do just really want to get to a point where I can at least put the beds in here so that we don't have to sleep in the other room because it's just so messy everywhere. So for the skirting and for the door, I'm just going for the same colour that I've gone for in the other rooms upstairs, which is Schoolhouse White by Farrow and Ball. I just feel like it's gonna help tie this room to the office room, which is obviously attached to this room. And I got 5 litres of this because I know I'm gonna wanna use this for all the skirting and doors downstairs as well. And I'm hoping I can do the 2 coats today. Recoat in 4 to 6 hours. So I'll do 1 coat now, 2nd coat tonight, and then tomorrow maybe I can move everything in here. That would be such a relief. The room is painted, both on the ceilings, on the walls, and the skirting is done, plus the door, which is behind you. Ryan also just put a light fixture in there. There is 2 more at the top there, and I got these covers, which I still need to prime and then paint pink as well. So they will be covered up. I didn't really know what to do with the light fixture in here. So for now, I'm just gonna sort of drape this slightly up there, and then I have a huge big rice paper bulb and I'm gonna put on this. That was originally for our living room, but I think temporarily it can live in here, and it might also look quite nice to have a large sort of bulbous shape against this sort of empty wall. The colour has really grown on me for a while. I wasn't too sure on it, but I think the blue tarp also really threw me off. Whereas I think with the sort of wooden floor, it looks really nice. I spent like an hour just now scrubbing that floor because I'm pretty sure there used to be carpet laid. There wasn't any carpet when we moved in, so I'm guessing the people who lived here before us, they took it out and then just left like the underlay spray glue or whatever. So that was fun removing, but the room looks so good now. Like, we never bothered with it beforehand because we just chucked our clothes in here and nothing ever like lived on the floor, but I always hated how grubby it was, and now it's so fresh and new, and there's like a beautiful sort of light coming in this sort of evening hour now, which is lovely. But yes, I can now move the bed in here and a couple other things, which is going to be such a relief, and we can spend our first night in this freshly painted, empty, clean room, which is so exciting. I am honestly surprised that this bed is still functioning. We bought this secondhand when we moved into our very first flat together for £20 off Facebook Marketplace, so it had a life before us as well. And since then, it has been taken down and put back up and moved around from room to room so many times that I'm genuinely impressed that it's still upright and like stable after every time that we move it. But yeah, this is an IKEA bed, and technically it is a little bit too big for a mattress, and it has really bothered me ever since moving into this house. But it's just so hard to find a bed that is the correct size for what we need it to be and is as good as this. And we really struggle buying things new unless the thing that we already have breaks. So I feel like we're stuck with this bed frame until it breaks, which it seems like it will just never do. So ideally we would need a bit more floor space around the edges of the bed, which we could have if the bed frame was smaller. Like we are missing sort of, 10 centimeters. But for now, this is just gonna have to do. Do you see how much room is in between the mattress and the bed frame there? So we could really have more space on either side. First thing is to paint the shelves that we put up. The shelves themselves, these ones, are taken from like an old bookshelf that we had that we wanted to get rid of, but I saved these shelves. And then the brackets are just cheap from Screwfix, so I'm not really like ruining good material by painting them. And I think I just want to match them to the wall paint. So I'm gonna prime them first. I don't really want to, but I know I should. And then I'll paint them the same colour as this. I also still haven't done the ceiling covers. I have already primed them, so I just need to paint those as well. And then the last thing to do is to add a curtain rod, so we can put some blackout curtains there. I already put a curtain there to like block out just the neighbouring windows, but yeah, we need something a bit more blackout for the lights because it's summer now. But yeah, I'm gonna start by painting these bad boys. So when you look at the bottom of our bed, we have our guest mattress living under there, and I don't love how visible that is. Actually, ages ago when we first moved in, I had the same thing. I didn't want to see what is underneath the bed, and I got this sheet which you keep like here. I don't really need the whole sheet, like I don't need the frill on the sides, so I'm thinking of maybe just like cutting the bottom side of the sheet and somehow attaching it to the bed frame so that it just folds over. I don't really have a method really how I want to do that. I thought about maybe doing like a Velcro thing, but I think I possibly might be overcomplicating it. I could just cut it and then keep it under the mattress. Maybe I will just try that, you know. The room has been finished and I am so happy with it. It's so cozy, and I can't believe how adding all the little finishing touches like the curtains and matching the shelf paint to the rest of the room made such a difference to making this feel like a hotel room, you know, like really nice and cozy. I did the bedroom over quite a few weeks, and I think that has really paid off to just like let each new change settle in for a bit before I then add new things. Whereas previously I would kind of like come up with a concept and all the things that I wanted in the room and then try and do it all at once, which number one, I'd always just get so fed up like halfway through because I'm trying to like rush through it. And also most of the time I then wasn't really that happy with my ideas because things change and ideas change as you add more things to a room. That's how I find it anyways. First of all, the wall color I think was the right choice. I keep seeing really nice blue bedrooms. I think in the winter time I will be very thankful that I went for this like warm pinkish tone because yeah, this room, this whole house, any house in the UK I find just gets quite dark and grey. One thing that I previously found very difficult and really disliked in this room was this window, and obviously previously we had this as a wardrobe, so we'd always have the blinds shut 24/7 because people could see us getting changed. And the view from, if you're standing where the bed is, it's just our neighbouring windows, so they can like look straight in, and it kind of made the room very difficult to like plan out. Whereas now we've struck the perfect balance because the view from where I'm standing now is beautiful. We're overlooking some gorgeous gardens, some lovely houses, and it looks gorgeous all year round. So now when you walk in, you still have that gorgeous view, even though the bottom window is blocked out. And I'm so grateful for that because I didn't want to have to like sacrifice that view. Like I said, I find the curtains really added a nice feel, cozy feel to this. I grew up without curtains, blinds, anything. My childhood bedroom window was massive and it couldn't really fit any blinds. So I'm used to sleeping with natural light and I prefer it most of the time, but Ryan likes to have blackout blinds, which is absolutely fine by me. I'm happy to compromise. And actually waking up this morning was so lovely. I pulled back the curtains for 1 second and I was surprised by how bright it actually was outside. They look fully blackout, but they're not. They let a little bit of light through, which is like the perfect amount. I think I would struggle if it was like fully blackout. I got these for £10 on Vinted, and initially I thought they were floor length. That's what I was going for, but they are only short. And I didn't know if I liked that at first, but it's worked out quite well because there's such little room here that it would kind of just puddle and kind of collect dust there anyway. So this has worked out quite nicely. The length kind of hits here. I think it would be awkward if it hit like here, but at least this sort of still blends in with the bedding down here. Now there obviously isn't really like a gap either end of the bed because the bed frame is so much bigger. There is still enough room on like my side to squeeze in and change the bedding or pick up things that have fallen down. I think on Ryan's side it's a little bit tighter. Yeah, I could, you know, push it over a little bit. But the size of the bed frame actually bothers me a lot less now than it did in all of the other rooms that I previously had it in, because we wouldn't really use the side space anyways, whether we had like 10 extra centimeters or not. This is literally so cozy, but I just love the view from this window now. So this curtain I got from a charity shop. It's just like an old tablecloth. It's a little bit smaller than what I would like this to be, but I do really like the sort of floral designs. And without this is our view. So those are the neighbouring windows that I mentioned. At the moment the property is empty, but we had neighbours before that, and this would be their bedroom, this sort of their second bedroom, and when the lights turn on, they are bright, and when we turn our lights on, it's bright for them. They can see everything, and it's just not like the nicest view to look at, you know, whereas with this down, it just blocks it out. It also diffuses the light because this white wall is so bright, like it's hurting my eyes looking at that now. So this is nicely diffused, and then all you have to look at is the chimney and the sky, and I love that. Then on this side, the painting I got also in a charity shop. It was like £40. It does have the signature on there, which is really nice. But what I love about the painting placement is that it never reflects any light like on the glass. So my view from here, I can look at it so perfectly. And then also the view from coming into the room, it doesn't reflect, because at no point are you looking at the painting front on, whereas obviously as soon as you get to this angle, it kind of starts to reflect. It is really weird how we're able to fit the same amount of things in here as we did in the much larger room. Like, just because the other room was bigger, we still couldn't fit a lot in because of how it was like arranged with the window and the doors and stuff. We still have the same bed in here. We have the painting, which did used to live above the bed in the old room, but I felt like this wall there had enough covered with the light lamp. We have the same linen cupboard in here, which holds all of our towels, our bed sheets, some knitwear, and all of our pillows are in here, or our pillowcases. And then my books feel a lot more organized on there as well. They just look so nice now that they're matching with the walls. It made such a difference. Then this light we also had before, but I don't know if I want to change this out. I think it's too high up with the books. Like, I think it needs to just have like a bulb light, maybe one of the IKEA ones. And I like how this is clutter free. To be fair, most of the time we have like random hoodies and jumpers living on there, but at least there is like less floor space to kind of dump all of your stuff, because that is simply what ends up happening. We can still keep the guest mattress under the bed. It might actually be even easier to access it now because we have like a longer bit of floor to pull it out from. I think the only other thing that we added was this reading light. It's also from IKEA. I tend to read at night, whereas Ryan usually uses his Kindle, so just needed a little light. And I did like it being sort of asymmetrical there as well. I thought about getting two. We might get a second one, I don't know yet, but yeah, more of a practical little feature. There are a few things that I might still want to add, but I want to give it some time. I don't want to rush it, because what's the fun in that? I want to keep working on this room. So yeah, just a few things that I might still add. I really like the idea of adding some kind of artwork here, whether it's like a little thing on one of the sides or like a large thing. Again, I don't know. And I am thinking about maybe doing like a filet crochet thing. I don't know, but then now looking at this, like I could do something long here, I'm not sure. And then this side is very bare. I'm thinking of maybe adding a mirror, nothing too big, like even just like a little square thing, but then that could reflect the books over here and just kind of, yeah, add a little something. I don't think I need another artwork here, but a little mirror could be quite nice. And then facing this way, I have like a little oval frame that I might just add above the light switch here. I think that will also look a lot nicer when this massive lamp is gone and I just have a smaller lamp. And then I really want to get a candle like wall hanging, and I think it would look really nice on this wall here. And then yeah, just have like a long candle. I think that would be so cute. I'll also quickly show you how the other room is looking that previously used to be my bedroom. It's not super exciting, but I thought it would be mean if I didn't show you. So we put the curtains back up to cover all of our clothes, and this is how the organisation is looking. So I have my Malm drawers here. I was able to sell the other ones and the tall boy as well. Once those two were gone, I felt such a relief. But yeah, I've got a bunch of clothes in here, up here, some winter coats there. And then Ryan has all of his jumpers, jackets up there, jeans, t-shirts, and then other things in here. And then he's got a little cupboard. This used to live in our bathroom, got a little cupboard to put some games and stuff in there. And then this is the curtain to the loft area. This is kind of the most like inexpensive wardrobe solution that I could think of. This little chair now has a nice sort of area to be in. We inherited this from Ryan's grandparents, and it is a lovely chair, but this used to just be in like random places because I could never figure out where to put it. But this is the perfect little chair to throw all of my clothes on. Then facing this way, the mirror has been put back up here, and it's kind of perfect because I've got the curtains as a backdrop. And then another little sofa that we inherited. It has storage in there, so I'm keeping our guest duvet in there, and Betty loves to sleep on there as well. And then there's just some other little things. Ryan can put all of his books and random little trinkets on there. And then I still need to figure out what to do for the curtain situation here. I would ideally like to have more of a square curtain that's attached to the window. Again, like very similar to our bedroom. The top sort of window could remain free, like no one can look in. So we just need to cover this square, and then some lovely light would come in here, because this right now is making things quite dark and not so exciting. But yeah, that is everything for this bedroom. I'm so happy with it. This is like one of the first rooms where I feel like I really took my time with it, and I'm super happy with the outcome. Like, the patience has really paid off. There's still a few little things that I can do to it, which is nice as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the final result. And I don't know, I might just go take a nap. Why not? I'm gonna say goodbye.